Okay, so I've been trying to find a way to make Necro dominance work in the Timeless. There have been some pretty cool decks that have shown up, and today we're going to showcase one of these that I think has some cool things going for it. So, as I organize the lands here, we can see that this is going to be a Grixis shell that is primarily mono black. Previously, you'll have seen that things like Sacrifice, in conjunction with the Pitch Elementals and Shadow Mortality, are really, really good ways of getting a lot of mana all at once. You can always do this with the Necro Potence decks, but with Necro Dominance decks, things are a little bit different. Your maximum hand size is 5 with Necro Dominance, and you are drawing cards to put them into your hand, so sometimes that's not good as well. But the good thing with Necro Dominance is that, it's an enchantment that we can sack to beseech the mirror. It works pretty well with Born Upon a Wind because this card just wants you to have a bunch of things in hand before you discard. I guess all the Necro effects are the same, like in that sense, but still. So what we want to do is we want to Necro Dominance a bunch of cards into our hand at the end of turn, and then we want to Born Upon a Wind and then use our deck in order to kill. In order to do that, this means that we're going to have two things. Some early mana advantage to get the Necro Dominance out in general, which we're primarily just going to do through Dark Ritual, or just by mulliganing to a hand that contains Necro Dominance and playing the lands until we can get it out. After we do that, then it's going to be on us to find a turn where we can Born Upon a Wind at the end step. That will mean that we need to have at least one blue mana in here out of our land base, and then from there it's going to be off to the races. So what we'll be able to do is we'll be able to pitch cast things like Subtlety and Grief. We'll be able to, with our life total all the way down at 1, because we'll Necro all the way down to 1, we'll be able to play Shadow Immortality for 2 black mana. And then those in conjunction with Sacrifice give us a bunch of mana that we'll be able to continue the rest of the chain with. Beseech the Mirror will help us find more Shadow of Mortality or Sacrifices or March of Wretched Sorrow in case we need to do something like that. They can also help us find our finisher, which is Tendrils of Agony. Demonic Tutor also helps with that, and then we have Mastermind's Acquisition as a 1-of to go into our sideboard and find one of these finishers. It's not really like the main game plan, so I'm only running 5 cards in here right now. Thoughtseize, Breach in case we need to get into the graveyard, Tendrils of Agony, Shadow of Mortality, number 4, and Torment of Hailfire. This one's just in here in case opponent has hexproof, so that we have a way to win through that. Always got to make sure that we have the outs. But yeah, basically the idea here is go Subtlety, Grief, or Shadow, sacrifice it, get a bunch of mana. We have Beseech, Demonic Tutor, and any one of our draws in order to finally find our Mastermind's Acquisition or Tendrils for lethal. It's a pretty simple deck, but it absolutely pops off out of nowhere once we have a Necro Dominance and the blue mana to cast Born Upon a Wind. Nothing to do other than to hop into round 1, so let's try to get some games in with this deck and hopefully take some people out. I'm running a build that I found and adapted from a opponent's deck in the Timeless queue, and so we'll be kind of iterating on it today. If I find some things that need to be changed in the final deck list, you will see those adjustments made. So let's hop in round 1 and play some Flash Necro. This episode of Full Control MTG is brought to you by Patreon and your viewership. If you want to support the channel financially, the Full Control MTG Patreon is the best place to do so. With a Shockland tier, you get access to videos as soon as they are recorded and edited. Don't wait to get your hands on another Full Control MTG deck list. Otherwise, it's your support for the channel that keeps me going. Thanks for being here and enjoy the video. Okay, here we go. It's round 1. If we had a black mana, this would have gotten a Necro Dominance out, but we don't have one in hand. This has a slow Necro Dominance, which I think is fine. It also has that Born Upon a Wind, so we'll do a Necro past the turn play. We'll show just black for now. It's Young Wolf. Okay, sure. And we're going Flare of Cultivation right away, so we got to watch out for our friend Yawgmoth. Okay, so am I playing Demonic Tutor here? When I go Necro Dominance, next turn will be Born Upon a Wind, and then I'll need to be able to play at least a Sacrifice. So maybe I just put a Sacrifice into hand now. They'll have 3 mana. Oh, actually, you know what? This does kind of get a little awkward. So I think I need to Demonic Tutor for Ritual so that I can go off next turn. That'll be 3 mana. No, that won't be enough either. Okay. I'll have 3 mana on turn Oh no, I will have just enough to do Born Upon a Wind. That means that I will still not have enough to Born Upon a Wind into my sacrifice. So I will take a Surveil here and we'll just get a Necro Dominance out on time. I actually don't even need to take a Surveil here. I could take my Xander's Lounge. Make sure that my colors are fine. Deathrite Shaman, okay. Everyone's on their setup turns. I could see a Yawgmoth come down pretty soon though, which is a little scary. We'll go here, we'll go Necro Dominance. Then I'll take 2 cards here, going down to my maximum hand size of 5. They will go Bowmasters. Crap. Okay, so the good thing about this Necro Dominance deck is I can just wait and then draw the cards and try to kill in response to the Bowmasters triggers. Should we pay 0 here? Well, do we pay 0? Yeah, have to go exactly off Born Upon a Wind. Yeah, this is not going to be the best. But yeah, I think we'll just pay 0, confirm 0 and pass. So we take whatever damage we take here, and then we just do our best with Necro Dominance. It's going to be very, very tight. There's the Yawgmoth. Take some damage. They'll get to draw some cards. But we will not die. So we shock a Watery Grave. We actually don't need to shock a Watery Grave, but I guess we will. Go to 9. We move to end step, and then we hold priority. Would I like to Demonic Tutor first? I think the answer is probably not. So let's go ahead and hold full control. And turn. This goes on to the stack. We'll pay 8. And they're going to have to be a good 8. Alright, Bowmaster stuff goes onto the stack here. And let's get going. So, they'll target us with everything. And we'll go Born Upon a Wind. Alright, that's fine. That's on the stack. We go Dark Ritual. And so we can Shadow of Mortality, March of Wretched Sorrow here. Or sorry, Sacrifice, excuse me. Okay. We are somewhat close to being able to do Demonic Tutor things, so I gotta consider my storm count here. I can go sack the Necro Dominance as well. Okay, so we're gonna Demonic Tutor. Gotta figure out what I want. So another Shadow's not good. I think it's probably Beseech is what I'm gonna have to do. Tendrils for 5, that's not quite enough. We have Mastermind's Acquisition. I'd be at 9 mana after that. That's not enough to kill. I have a lot of cards in hand here. That is actually going to be pretty good with Valakut Awakening. So I do that, then I can presumably draw into another sacrifice. Okay, that'll be the play that I make. So that resolves. We go Valakut Awakening. I'm just going to chuck my whole hand. Doesn't matter the order. More triggers for them. And we unfortunately don't have a kill just yet. They have 17 damage on the stack, so we can go Shadow, we can March, we may as well Ritual. I think I just grabbed Beseech here, and then we don't need to go with Bargain. Well, we can Bargain at the end. Wish I had a Storm count here, but I'll just kind of go as far as I can. So Beseech plus Tendrils is 8. So I have 5 mana to work with. So I can go 1. And then I can go... okay, I got to do some math here. So this is for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total mana. So that's X equals 6. 1, 2, 2, 4, and the +3, that's 8, yep. Target the Yawgmoth. Oh, I could have done even more because I'm casting with Beseech, that's right. Alright, they're going to try to kill my Shadow, that's fine. Alright, there goes Yawgmoth, we're up to 7 life. And now we Beseech without bargain. We will grab our Tendrils, and that is enough to kill. Cool. Sweet. That will be just enough. Except we just barely roped out an opponent's going to kill us with their Bowmaster's triggers. That is unfortunately really awkward. On my client, the Tendrils was literally on the stack. We'll have to chalk that one up as a 50-50 win-loss right there. But it's a proof of concept. We were able to make it work. And next round will hopefully be a little bit quicker on the execution. Let's go to round 2. Okay, let's go. So this makes it round 2. Subtlety is probably not the move here. Yeah, probably not the move here. We will mulligan. Dark Writ, we have Offer You Can't Refuse. I think this one's a little bit better. Sink into Stupor can become just general counter magic. I think I might get rid of that, and then we'll just look to do something later. I can Dark Writ into an Offer You Can't Refuse here, which would be nice. Born Upon a Wind, that needs to be in hand eventually, so we'll take it. Put a Polluted Delta down, we can fix our colors. Another Beseech, that feels awkward. Take a Surveil. Do we want a 4th mana? No, we want Necro Dominance. Blue-white basic lands, and it's a Delny. Sure. So, get the Xander's Lounge here. We're probably just hard casting a Beseech the Mirror here. Oh no, now we're not. We're just going like this. It would be 6 mana. Yeah, we just got to Beseech the Mirror for Necro Dominance, excuse me. And then next turn, we will have to do a pass the turn Necro play. Oh, yikes. That's awkward. Well, Stalwart Realm Warden. What a card. I'll have to use my Dark Writ to get this Necro Dominance into play. Take 2 cards. We have Sacrifice now, that's good. Might be another close one though. Case of the Lost Witness, this eventually just tries to get a Fibblethip, and then you get to have the flash thing. Okay, sure. Alright, so I'll take my turn here. Valakut Awakening I'll just use in hand. We will go to end step. And let's go ahead and give it a try. Hold full control again just because. We'll go for 7. Okay, just barely found a Subtlety to play. So we'll go Born Upon a Wind here. Draw my card, and so here we go. So we can pitch cast the Grief off of March, then Sacrifice. We can set up for a good Valakut, I think. Okay, so let's start casting some spells. Grief. We'll pitch cast the March of Wretched Sorrow. Take something from their hand. We will resolve this first. Opponent has some counterspell. They have some removal. I guess I'll take the creature. Okay, so that's that. We'll then sacrifice the Grief, auto pay. I gotta be very quick here. Subtlety, pitch Sink into Stupor. In response, sack. Okay, and then go Dark Ritual. We're now out of blue mana. Okay. Sacrifice. And the grief trigger goes away. So now we're beseeching the mirror. We can sack the Necro Dominance. Do we want to sack the Necro Dominance? We can go outside of our library. So that's 4. That's not going to be enough. We will do it like this. Sack Necro. Alright, and then I think I'm going to Subtlety just for Storm. We'll get rid of an offer you can't refuse. And if we have to pass the turn, then we have to pass the turn. Okay, so I can cast a 4-drop here. Tendrils for Storm 8 is close, but no cigar. I can then go Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor for Tendrils. Yeah, I'm just a little bit off in terms of mana. That's awkward. Do I have anything else? No, I think it's just Tendrils. Okay. Well, Tendrils it is. We're a little bit off here, so we have to find our own way. At least we'll have the mana to do it. And then I need to stop holding full control and just click through these. All right. I think one more Born Upon a Wind could have been smart. Also doing the Valakut Awakening could have been smart. I'd like to resolve all, please. There we go. Alright, so I get a couple more turns now. They're at 4, they're at 2. Yeah, one more spell and I would have had it. That's unfortunate. So if I go back, I could have Born Upon a Winded a little bit earlier and then I would have had it. Dang. Also could have Valakuted. Alright, so how do we lose? Prairie Survivalist. That's pretty nice. Stalwart Realm Warden, very cool. Yeah, I like that with Delny, that's pretty sweet. And now that they're gaining life, I don't think we can come back. Let's Valakut Awakening here. Draw some cards. Maybe get that counterspelled. Pay 2, right? Yes, we're good. Redraw. And the Shadow Mortality, that's nice. That eventually can be cast, and then that will be a flying attacker. So it's not over yet. Oh, but then it dies to Get Lost, so I don't know how I feel about that. Ooh, another one of these. Okay. I think unfortunately that means that we slowly die here. So a lot of removal and then just a few decent creatures. It's not a bad deck. And we die in one turn here. I had Grief. I have a blocker, but unfortunately that doesn't do much. We can Grief away the targeted removal. But they have a lot of targeted removal, so does it really matter? We'll take the one that gives me nothing in return. And yeah, I think that'll about do it here. Opponent will take us out in round 2. Kind of a long one, but we did get a combo off, just unfortunately a little misplay. Could have been a slight bit more efficient and taken that one. All right, let's let him finish it up. They are not killing me, and I'm confused about it. It's a pretty trivial kill for them, so what's up? Ah, there we go. Okay, cool. Alrighty, well, gave it our best bet here. Unfortunately, could not get all the way through, but had a strong showing, so not unfortunate. Okay, let's make this a little easier for them. We'll go ahead and concede the game is over. Let's move to run 3. Okay, so with a grief, this becomes a pretty decent hand, but as is, it's a little sketchy. I'll try it. Let's be reckless. Offer you can't refuse, so that's not what I was looking for. We look to find grief specifically here. And I guess tangentially we also want to find blue. Misty Rainforest, they could Spell Pierce, or not Spell Pierce, Stifle. They'll just Undercity Sewer, so this might be a show and tell. That's not it. Dark Rit, are we getting show and tell right now? Oh, just the One Ring, okay. Okay. Would have liked to have these 2 offer you can't refuse when they were casting that One Ring. Seek new knowledge here. Am I countering that? I guess not. I don't want to give them an opportunity to have a protected show and tell. Oh, and now I have to decide between Necro Dominance or Offer You Can't Refuse. Oh. Well, this is a very weird feeling. Okay. If I surveil, I'm looking for either of my 6 pitch elementals. If I play Necro Dominance, then I'm just hoping that I dodge Omniscience. They have shown me 1 Brainstorm, 1 thing that searches 2 random cards. They've drawn 3 cards off of the One Ring. I feel like they probably have it. So then do I need to hold up an Offer You Can't Refuse? I guess I do. That is not my pitch elemental. Alright. And I mean, if they just come through with a protected show and tell, then, you know, it is what it is. Draw 3. They are softening up for tendrils, that's for sure. Could also march into an Offer You Can't Refuse, which is nice at end step. They want to Thoughtseize me. I'll let it happen. So now they know that they probably can't show until this turn, which means they pass, which means that I get to march into my offer. Oh, but March doesn't have a target, which is not good. So far I've played around show and tell, which looks like what they were trying to do. And it'll just be an assemble the team. Okay. And I get my turn back. Well, kind of feels like if I had played Necro Dominance, I would have been in a much better spot at this point, but maybe I did end up playing around their show and tell. Now they're just looking for protected win, and they're probably going to have it at some point. I guess it's just Necro here. March of Wretched Sorrow, not very interesting. I'll take 2 cards and just try to sculpt a hand here. I'll take 3 replacement cards here because these 3 are not super useful. Alright, there's a Grief, that's good. We will get rid of Offer, March, and March as previously discussed. Then I guess Dark Ritual is the least Well, actually, okay, I think the second Grief is probably the better one. Because I only have so many sacrifices. Alright. Don't show and tell me, please. Or at least let me get my Grief in. Alright, so Grief. Alright. Can I hit your only spell? No, they have Born Upon a Wind. I think we're dead. Alright, yep, this is looking like it. From an Atraxa, it's pretty hard to brick. Hullbreaker Horror, that is not the version that I'm usually playing, so let's see what they're doing here. Hullbreaker, they have Demonic Tutor. Demonic Tutor is almost a given win. Waterlogged Teachings, yeah, they have it from here. Hullbreaker will remove some stuff here. Omniscience number 2. They'll go Demonic Tutor and Waterlogged Teachings, and they can blink the One Ring. Cool. Yeah, so they draw their deck here. They are pretty much undefeatable. They actually don't even need to use their sideboard here. They could just be playing a 1-of their combo kill, and then we'll find it eventually. Alright, and they will go into the sideboard. That will probably be it. We'll just let them finish the last few clicks here since it's fast relatively. Approach, Atraxa, approach. They're being very careful about this. I mean, I have no priority here, obviously, so. They continue to draw the One Ring. I'm curious. Okay, yeah, no, so it is an approach deck. I was wondering why I was not seeing that card come out. I think they might just be looking for Veil of Summer or something, which they can find with Waterlogged Teachings. Whatever, we're here to show you guys the kill. There's Atraxa, and they have not shuffled, so they should be able to find it here. Cool. All right, opponent takes round 3. We go into round 4 next. Okay, let's go. It's round 4. We have turn 1 Necro Dominance. This is the first time we've seen that. We definitely keep. That is 2 mulligans. Could actually Grief off this March of Wretched Sorrow, which I think I will do. Alright, let's use the most of this hand. Feels good. Alright, what do we get? So they have Reanimate. That's probably the one that we got to get rid of the most. Yeah. Alright, so they're just Sire Reanimator. We'll take 4 cards here in case we find 2 lands. Okay, and then I will discard, let's see, Besiege versus an Offer You Can't Refuse. This is mana. I think I'm probably getting rid of this, and then we're just looking to probably take a few turns, honestly. So maybe Demonic Tutor will come into play. All right, we're taking this one a little bit slow until they show us something else. Thoughtseize me. You got it. We don't have anything particularly great. This Born Upon a Wind is more useful to us than they know. Take the Grief. Okay. Put a Xander's Lounge in, and I think we'll just drop the hand size here. Down to 12. We have a Tendrils in hand. Now this we don't really want to get Thoughtseize, but we can get around it if we have enough mana to work with. Since we have a land, we are good to go. Okay, let's do this. Let's do Demonic Tutor. And Demonic Tutor can find another land, or it can find something scary. We can also grab a sacrifice here. That'll kind of just enable that our next turn is pretty good. Alright, then we'll take one more card here. Well, yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter. Because the question is, do I want to have it in hand for potentially playing a land next turn versus just draw it at the end step anyway and keep my life total high? Both are alright. Okay, so I actually took my offer you can't refuse, or they took my tendrils rather. Alright, so gonna be a little bit harder to go find that again. Dark Writ, and what are we doing here? Sorin, get the Sire in? Or is the Sire a vampire? It's not, okay. Well, I gotta keep Born Upon a Wind out. I could also Born Upon a Wind into an offer you can't refuse. Okay, let's try that. Born Upon a Wind. Offer you can't refuse, targeting it. And now we'll have 5 mana. We will take a couple more cards here from Necropotence. And now we have another land for next turn. And we have Polluted Delta. Okay. I think I'll probably just play the untapped land here. So do we go for it now? I have Beseech that could find something. I mean, we're not really going to be going off of many cards here. There's a lot of cases where we probably just end up dying. I think there's no time like the present to send it, but at the same time, opponent doesn't really have anything going on. We might as well take another turn. Beseech the Mirror, we could set up to make sure that we have exactly Sacrifice and Sire. Or sorry, not Sacrifice and Sire, Sacrifice and Shadow. With 7 cards, we're not guaranteed to hit exactly what we want. Beseech for March. Yeah, I think I'd just take another turn here straight up. Draw one more card. And we just get ready to send it. We also have to find another Born Upon a Wind. That's like kind of something that I was not really considering. Surgical Extraction, that's fine. That doesn't hit what we need. That in fact kind of thins our deck a little bit, so it kind of helps us. But I think our chances are looking pretty low right now. And then it's just a Sorin Plus here again. Okay, I think I dropped the Polluted Delta. I can continue to just like slow play this, I guess, and just bank mana. I mean, maybe that is the right move. Just continuing to slowly draw one card by one card. Okay, Buried Alive, that just puts them into the graveyard. I think now is probably the time I want to get ready. Alright, so yeah, they're looking to just straight up reanimate here. Cool. And what do we do now? I think I just have to draw my cards this turn and just try for it. Okay, so another Polluted Delta here. We will just move to end step. We're going to pay 5. If we hit it, we hit it. If we don't, we don't. That is the March that we were looking for, so that's good. So we can go... unfortunately, we can't do the Polluted Delta, so we have X equals 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Uh, 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that's dead. Alright, we're at 14 now. We can rationalize Polluted Deltaing for some Surveils. You got it. then Surveil. March of Wretched Sorrow number 2. They don't have a target, so we're just going to put that away for now. Surveil again. Born Upon a Wind, we want that in hand. Move to my turn. And then let's just play a land and go to draw. So we have 12 life. Let's draw 11 cards. Alright. So we have Sacrifice, we have Shadow of Mortality. So these things are good. We start like this. Let's go blue, black. Alright. We go for Shadow of Mortality here, making sure that we retain red, though I don't think it's going to matter. Now we got black mana. Sacrifice on the Shadow. Let's do it through this. We have Grief pitching Necro. That'll take their thing away. Okay, and then so now what are we doing? We have Subtlety, Subtlety. We can also just like play with these on the battlefield, I guess. Yeah, let's just hardcast a Grief. Maybe I shouldn't have even bothered trying to do that because I don't have any draw here. Resolves. Target opponent doesn't matter. We can take off Full Control right now. And then Fell the Profane doesn't matter. Subtlety will just not be able to be cast straight up. So kind of a disappointing Necro Dominance play, to be quite honest. We got to discard 4 cards here. Let's get rid of all the fetch lands and the shock lands. Now we just have to play a bunch of pitch elementals. There's a chance we still get through like this, which is crazy. Bam. We can't draw another card, but we have a lot of creature and spell-like interaction, so, you know, maybe not the worst. Faithless Looting, so that kind of has to happen. Just have to avoid them getting their second and third spells here, which could happen. Okay, Strike It Rich into... Ooh, they're passing. Okay. So this is fine. Oh my god. Wow. And I'm just 1 off with this Subtlety. Okay. No, I do have enough. Okay, cool. Wow. Yeah, that's enough to kill. Alright, move my turn. Hit for 9. We're going to take it here. That was probably the most messy game you could have ever hoped for with this deck, but we were able to pull it out somehow. Sire of Insanity, though, that's kind of a cool card, and I've really been wanting to play with. Or sorry, Sire of 7 Deaths. Sire of Insanity is another card. This is another Foundations card that I think is really, really cool. This one can work very well in the decks that copy the keyword attributes. That could be like really fun to play with. But yeah, you know, that is that deck. But anyway, cool. That was a great round 4. We have 5th round coming up right now. Stick with me. Okay, so we don't have our Necro Dominance in round 5 here, but we have a way to get it through Demonic Tutor. All right. Want to maintain life here. Put that in tapped. And it's a Bolt to the face. Ooh, this is not good. Yeah, if they're just red aggro, this is going to be a hard game. I suppose a Grief could actually go a long way. Boom, and then we'll go Demonic Tutor. And let's get our Necro Dominance. I might wait a turn to do this. We can Dark Ritual counter spell it, give ourselves some mana. Ooh, alright, red-white. So, typical aggro. Just played a red-white aggro deck for one of the previous videos on this channel. Wonder if it's going to be the same thing. Okay, so I can go tapped land into Dark Ritual, offer you can't refuse, then following turn Necro, Born Upon a Wind. How much mana will I have? That actually should work because then I can sacrifice as well. So okay, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 lands in play. I'll have 2. Yeah, I'll have 6 mana. So yeah, that actually is enough. I will not have additional blue after the fact though. Okay, so we go like this, and then I just go, yeah, offer you can't refuse after Dark Ritual. All right. Actually, alternatively, if I just use the Dark Ritual straight up, then what does that look like? That is 2 mana left over plus the Blood Crypt. That's 3 mana. That's Born Upon a Wind with mana left over, and I'll have Sacrifice and Offer You Can't Refuse. I think I actually do that instead. Flooded Strand. The thing that's a little awkward is if they just hold up mana here and pass, I might not be able to survive. Okay, that's a good start. Xander's Lounge. They are way more colors than I thought. Let's just see some mediocre 3-drop here. Not that. Okay, so I gauge that they can probably do like 3 to 6 damage to me. Can 11 life be enough? Or sorry, 11 cards be enough? So let's start out by playing our Necro Dominance. They're holding up something. Could be Reprieve, could be 2 Lightning Bolts. Okay, so I get that. And then I think I just go to end step and attempt things here. I mean, it could just be Helix and Bolt. We already saw 1 Bolt. Yeah, I think they can deal 6 damage to me, so I have to go to 8 cards after doing this delta. Okay, so we take 9 cards. Oh, unless they show me their hand now. Oh, it's a cycling. Okay, that just got so much better. Alright. So I basically just get 16 cards here then. Alright, best case scenario, let's get it. Okay, cool. So, we'll start with some Dark Rituals. We'll go resolve that, and then we'll Dark Ritual again. We don't have any other pitch elementals. Solve that. We'll go Born Upon a Wind here. Alright. That Polluted Delta actually just made this a little bit more awkward. Shadow Mortality. Sacrifice the Shadow. Do I want to I can afford to do that. So I'll sacrifice the Shadow. Now we have mana. Then I play another Shadow. And then before I sacrifice that one, I make it so that I can get blue mana or whatever color that I need. Then it's just a trivial Beseech line from there. Alright, cool. So we can march for 0. Well, okay, let's march for 1, because that essentially gives me a mana. Okay, now I can go Polluted Delta here. We will get blue. Alright, so then now we have 1 more sacrifice. We'll do another Shadow. Sacrifice. Okay, so then Beseech 1, Beseech 2. Fell the Profane can try to kill that. We can go Beseech first. Beseech without bargain. Let's get another sacrifice. Unless I want to get Subtlety and an Offer You Can't Refuse It. So I could go Subtlety, Offer You Can't Refuse. This is hard because of the UI and the fact that my opponent has conceded, but probably at around 5 or 6 Storm here, so I'm just basically getting ready to the point where I can Beseech into Tendrils. But I think in terms of getting Storm here, this Beseech can find Subtlety. I pitch cast Subtlety off of Born Upon a Wind and Offer You Can't Refuse It. Now I got mana. Then it's pitch cast Grief with Fell the Profane. Could even Offer You Can't Refuse that, then go Beseech and then kill. So we have it from there for sure. All right, so some definitely like solitaire style hands here with this deck. If that's your thing, do give the deck list a check out in the description. But with that being said, thanks for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, with exceptions here. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.